to join English School.
Yo!
Today is January 13th, and we have our book club article today. Our book club article title today is Something to Live For.
没错，又到了我们好书俱乐部的单元咯。今天我们要跟各位介绍的好书呢，英文的 title 叫做 Something to Live For.
Okay.
但是中文的 title 很有意思啊，他说如何不孤独的死去。
Yeah, wow. That's one of I like that title.
Yeah.
So in English, 如何不孤独死去 is how not to die alone. And Anthony, what is the story of that title?
OK， 所以基本上呢，你看到这个 title 的时候，你会觉得说，就是很多时候不是有种独居者，然后孤独死，甚至在日文里头，孤独死是一个现在日本的常有的现象。那很多时候老人家可能因为没有人照顾啊，然后可能死掉之后2个礼拜才被人家发现，所以其实对某些人来讲，这是一个有趣的 title， 但是对于一些真正面临到这种可能的困境的人来说，他看到这个 title 可能开心不起来哦。
I think it's kind of a funny title. I think it feels a little bit silly. And as we'll learn in our story, that we talk about serious things, but we don't talk about them seriously.
没错，老师刚刚特别用到这个字，我们谈论的一个是严肃的主题，但是呢，我们不要用太严肃的态度去看待它，尤其在这本书里头，它很特殊的地方是这个主角的观点跟视角，有时候还蛮幽默、蛮有趣的。我们赶快来看看今天内容吧。
Something to Live For. Something to Live For is the first novel written by author Richard Roper. The book's main character, Andrew, is an Englishman who has a strange job. He is responsible for finding the living relatives of people who have died alone. After they pass away, Andrew searches through their home. He checks their documents and photos in hopes of finding contact information for their loved ones. If he doesn't discover any, the dead person is buried after a small, lonely funeral. Andrew's work troubles him because he's similar to the people he investigates. Like most of them, he is single and lives alone. Andrew spends most of his free time playing with model trains. Except for a few people he chats with online, Andrew doesn't have any friends. He often worries that he will end up dying alone, like the dead people he tries to help. Andrew's life begins to change after he meets Peggy, a new coworker, because they have great chemistry together. Although Peggy is married, she recently left her husband because he had a drinking problem and was cruel to her. If these two lonely souls can come together, perhaps they can find new meaning in their lives and avoid dying alone.
All right, friends, we are looking at pages 30 and 31 in our magazine. Get your pen, pencils, and highlighters ready. Let's begin. Our first line begins, Something to Live For is the first novel written by author Richard Roper.
好，我们来看第一段的地方，他说 Something to Live For， 有没有注意到它有斜体字？斜体字的意思就是说，它可能是电影或是书籍的这个 title。那在这边的话，这本书 is the first novel written by author Richard Roper。好，他就先告诉你这个书的作者叫做 Richard Roper。
So when we live for something, we're talking about why do you want to live? What is your big goal in life?
所以说在这边的话，如果提到 something to live for， 通常是在指到说你生命中有一些目标，有些生活中具有意义的事情。好，这些东西的话，可能就是这本书的主题。
Now we have the present passive voice here, 现在被动语态 that's is am are, your be verb, plus the past participle 过去分词. So we have is the first novel written by author Richard Roper. Usually we'll talk about Richard Roper wrote something to live for. But 因为下一个句子 we want to talk about the story, not Richard Roper. The passive voice is fine here. 小心 the verb write, wrote, written. Please do not say written like all of my students.
所以要特别注意一下，第一个 written 这个字的话，它是有2个 t。第二个呢，它的那个母音是 write, wrote, written， 它不是念成 written， 啊，特别小心。
Let's continue. The book's main character, Andrew, is an Englishman who has a strange job.
好，再来我们看第二句话，他就说了 The book's main character， 这个故事中的主角呢 Andrew is an Englishman who has a strange job， 意思就是他是英国人，而他的工作呢有点特殊，有点奇怪哦。
So listen to my pronunciation of Englishman. That's M-A-N, but I say it with a short I. A lot of times when we put that man at the end of some kind of other noun or adjective, that man will become min, like你钓鱼的话 you're a fisherman, not a fisherman.
所以要特别注意一下，如果说今天 N-A-N man 这个声音光单讲的时候是 man， 但是如果是放在 like a fireman or fisherman or Englishman， 它的那个声音就不会念成 man， 它会念成 man。
But when we say police officer, Jingcha, we do say policeman, policewoman. But don't say that. Like, police officer is a much better word than policeman. Policeman sounds like you're a little boy or a little girl. I always tell my students, don't say policeman, one word. You should say police officer. 这个是单数。复数的警察是 police.
这样子。
All right, let's continue. He is responsible for finding the living relatives of people who have died alone.
好，接下来要告诉你这个主角的，你说既然是有一个 strange job， 我就会想知道说到底是什么工作这么奇怪，对不对？马上就告诉你了这句话 ，He is responsible for 就是负责做什么什么事情。因为 for 是介系词，所以后面如果是动词的话，要变成 ing， 所以在这里的话变成 finding the living relatives of people who have died alone， 意思就是他如果说，因为我自己去看了书前面的部分，他是公共卫生部门里面的一个人，他负责的事情就是，如果说在社会里面有一些人是独居者，他孤独的死亡的话，他要试着去找出，这个人他还有什么其他亲戚来通知一下，然后办理后面的丧葬事宜。所以在这边 finding the living relatives 就是指亲戚的意思，people who have died alone 就是指这些孤独死去的人。
Teacher, I got a question.
Yes.
So, this is the present perfect tense. Have died alone. Have or has plus the past participle. 现在完成式是到现在 but you're dead. 这个是过去式。So, can we use the past tense here?
这边的话
sure.
可以啊。
Yeah, but so why do we use the present perfect tense? Well, there's two reasons. Number one, because 现在完成式也可以受到过去的影响，你还没办法，你还有什么影响？ So, for example, I have lost my keys. 我钥匙不见了，什么时候？在过去，但是我现在也没办法开门。So, that's the present perfect tense. 过去的活动还有现在的影响。而且 this is all the dead people that died alone. Okay? 不是我自己一个人死了。That would be only past tense, not present perfect tense. This is quite a tricky small little point here, but I would say don't worry about it too much.
没错，所以这里的话，老师特别用到一个说法，就是如果是过去事件，它的影响依然是维持到现在的话，我们可以使用现在完成式，对不对？就像老师刚刚举的例子 ，I've lost my key， 那意思就是指说，当时我也许是指那个时间点我钥匙弄丢了，可是现在我还是没有钥匙的状态，所以在这边这个地方，如果提到是一个普遍的情况，它不只是单一个过去的某一个人的事件的时候，我们在这里的话使用现在完成式是更加适合的。
Okay, pick up your highlighter. Highlight died. So we have die, died, died. This is the past participle. This is the verb form. And there's a lot of words for this in both Chinese and in English because people don't like to talk about this topic. 这个话题, who wants to talk about dying? D-Y-I-N-G.
没错，所以在对死这件事情的话，不管是我们在国内或者是在西方，他们对于死都会比较避讳一点点。
All right, our next sentence says, after they pass away, Andrew searches through their home.
好，接下来你就看到 after they pass away， 所以你看哦，我们要避讳不要再讲死这个字的时候呢，我们就可以用别的说法，像 pass away 就是代表在这个人过世了之后，就把它 highlight 起来，好，把它记下来。Andrew searches through their homes， 他就在这个家里头开始去搜集一些资料，看看说，有没有任何人的联络方式啊等等，那种感觉有点像那种 遗物整理师的感觉，开始看看说，哎，这个人有没有什么可以联络的方式。
Now, Anthony said 过世, which of course is more polite than 死掉, right? So we use this word pass away. Probably the straightest word in English for 这个话题 is dead, the adjective. You are dead. She is dead. It's a very strong word. So we have die, pass away. Those pass away 特别, they are softer than dead.
没错，所以在这里的话 pass away 的话给人家感觉比较委婉一点，不会这么直接讲说死掉这样。
Yeah, let's continue. He checks their documents and photos in hopes of finding contact information for their loved ones.
好，接下来我们看下一句话，他就继续说了 He checks their documents and photos. 好，他是去翻找这些文件啦，好，不管是什么收信地址啦等等的 and photos 看有没有照片啦，为了要干嘛 In hopes of 就是为了要希望能够 finding contact information for their loved ones 能够找到爱着这个或者是他身边的这些爱着他的亲戚们相关的任何的联络资讯。
If he doesn't discover any, the dead person is buried after a small, lonely funeral.
哎呦，我的天哪！他就说了 ，If he doesn't discover any， 就这个 any 指的是 any information，any contact information。如果找不到任何这种联络资讯的话呢 ，the dead person， 好，就是指这个亡者呢 is buried， 好，这个地方特别小心 ，bury 就是指被埋葬起来的意思。它这个地方是 bu， 但它是发 的声音 ，buried。After a small, lonely funeral. 好，在这个一个小小的、很孤单的葬礼结束之后呢，他就被埋葬了。
This buried sounds just like strawberry, right? Strawberry buried, which sounds terrible, but it's an easy way to remember it. All right, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we got paragraph 2. Hey everyone, welcome back to Enjoy English School. We're looking at pages 30 and 31 in our magazine. We're on paragraph 2, and we just met Andrew, who is a guy. He has a strange job. He helps the people that die alone. Let's go on to paragraph 2. Andrew's work troubles him because he's similar to the people he investigates.
好，接下来我们看第二段第一句话咯。他开始的第一句话他就讲说啊 Andrew's work troubles him. 哎呦，你做这个工作，可是这个工作带给你莫大的困扰，为什么呢？他就告诉你 Because he's similar to the people he investigates. 这个地方特别注意一下 investigate 这个字 investigate something, investigate this case 代表去调查 you look into it。好，就想办法找到更多的蛛丝马迹细节。结果你发现到说，这个事情，这个工作困扰了他，原因是因为其实他现在的状况跟这些独居的人其实有点类似。Be similar to 这个 to 的话，请帮我圈起来。这个介系词呢，会跟 similar 来搭配，跟他的状况很接近。我们会说 is similar to the people he investigates.
Another way we can say be similar to, underline that phrase, is he's like the people he investigates. Like we all know is like 喜欢, but actually like can be very complicated when we say 像 or 你如何怎么样. And so you want to pay attention if we use the verb like, the word like, because it sometimes is a lot more tricky than, 我喜欢什么.
没错。
Let's continue. Like most of them, he is single and lives alone.
好，像这个地方呢，你看他这边讲到 like， 这边的 like 就是就像 like most of them， 好，很像大部分他所看到的这些独居者一样呢 ，is single and lives alone。他呢本身也是一个人住，而且呢也是单身孤家寡人一个。
Let's continue. Andrew spends most of his free time playing with model trains.
好，接下来告诉你啊，你看这些人他平常在家的时候工作完他做什么呢 ？Andrew spends most of his free time, 他大部分的这种休闲时刻呢，都花在 playing with model trains， 需要玩这种模型火车上面。这边要特别注意一下 ，spend time doing something， 好，是花时间去做这些事情，所以这边会用 playing。
So, when we have free time, it feels like it's kind of long. Don't forget, time is uncountable. But what if you only have like a little free time? Well, then we'll call it spare time. S-P-A-R-E space T-I-M-E, spare time.
spare time。如果说今天你不是那种一长段时间，零碎的一些休闲时间的话，可以用 spare S-P-A-R-E 这个形容词。
Now, Andrew is a person that doesn't like to go out a lot. He is happy to stay home and be by himself. I'm a lot like that. And my wife is like that too. Like on Saturday, where do you want to go? Let's stay home. I'm happy to do that. I don't really like to go out. And my wife is like that too. So what do you call this kind of person? We are called homebodies. This is one word. Home, like go home. And then body, B-O-D-Y. Now, 它结尾 Y, so we could 去 Y 加 I-E-S. My wife and I are homebodies.
homebodies 就是指那种喜欢宅在家的这种人哦。像日本的话，还有讲 otaku， 就是指那种御宅族，对不对？他们会有这样的称呼，然后喜欢。但是当然，日本那边的话，御宅族可能还有一些后面引申，他们可能有些特殊的一些兴趣啊，比方说做模型这个火车啦，或者是飞机等等。当然还有后面的东西，但是大部分情况，如果只是喜欢宅在家的话，就可以使用 homebody 这个字。
Except for a few people he chats with online, Andrew doesn't have any friends. Wow, that's sad.
OK， 他就说了 except for 这个地方讲一下 except for 就是 except I think you know except 指的是除了什么什么之外，你可能听过一个名词叫 exception， 就是例外的意思，对不对？在这边的话 except for a few people he chats with online， 他除了这些他在网上认识会聊天的朋友之外呢，好 Andrew doesn't have any friends， 他其实没有朋友。
He often worries that he will end up dying alone like the dead people he tries to help.
好了，所以说你看到这种情况，然后呢，你想想自己的生活形态，你发现你每天工作的时候都是跟这些生活形态跟你很像的人，好，不要看到他们，哇，他们会孤独的死去，所以他就说 he often worries that， 他就很担心说 he will end up dying alone. End up 这边帮我画起来，都是到了最后下场会是什么情况？通常后面是一些你无法预期的状况。他就说 end up dying alone， 他就很担心自己会不会有一天跟他们一样，就这样子孤独的死去了。Like the dead people he tries to help， 就像他很想帮助这些亡者一样。
Now, don't forget to highlight dying and the dead. And with that, let's get ready to take a quick break. Hey everyone, welcome back to Enjoy English School. Let's begin our final paragraph on pages 30 and 31. And it's funny, when I was previewing our article today, I saw it and I said, is this a story? Because I listened to a news report very similar. This book is a few years old. It was a really recent news report that is just like this. Like what do we do with dead people that die alone? And it's like this hour-long story, and it was so interesting. And 超像这个 like I was like, it's a 故事或者那个我听过的那个新闻。I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah， 没有错。老师刚刚又提到说呢，他看到这个故事的时候，他就会觉得说，好像最近才看过类似的新闻啦，或纪录片或故事等等，就在讲这个主题。各位，如果你注意一下，好像去年的时候吧，有一部那个在 Netflix 上面的一个韩剧叫做《我是遗物整理师》，它其实也是反映到说，其实很多人他会有独居的状况，也有很多这种独居之后孤独死去的状态。
All right, here we go. Andrew's life begins to change after he meets Peggy, a new coworker, because they have great chemistry together.
好，我们来看一下第三段的第一句话，他说 Andrew's life begins to change after he meets Peggy. 好，这个特别注意一下。你突然说，哇，这样孤独死去，好可怜哦。到第三段他就有转机了，对不对？突然发现到说，他的生活中出现了一个新的同事，叫做 Peggy。一个新同事呢，他看到他之后，他转变了。为什么呢？ Because they have great chemistry together.
They are similar. That's what that means. Let's continue. Although Peggy is married, she recently left her husband because he has a drinking problem and he was cruel to her.
OK， 我们来看这边这句话，他说 Although Peggy is married， 虽然说今天呢 Peggy 呢她本身已经是一个已经已婚了，可是她最近才离开她的老公。为什么离开呢？因为她老公 because he 的话这边圈起来指的就是前面的 her husband had a drinking problem， 他有酗酒的问题 and was cruel to her， 搞不好喝完酒之后还会家暴她这样子。
Yeah, so cruel is a little difficult to say. It sounds like the word henku, 加一个 r, cruel, and that's the best way to say it. Now, I should say, this is a little unclear in English. So we should say that she left him. In English, this means two things. They are separated or they're divorced. It's not clear from the English here that maybe 离婚了, but or maybe right now 他离开他就我不要跟你住在一起 and then maybe we will get divorced. Or 我们是看看我3个月后觉得怎么样. But from the English here, it's not clear. Are they divorced or just they're taking time away? But the story clearly feels they are going to get divorced because she's trying to date a new person.Yeah,
没有错。所以在这边的话，老师提到说，这边的那个 left 可以指的是分居或者是离婚，但不清楚这个地方。
If these two lonely souls can come together, perhaps they can find new meaning in their lives and avoid dying alone.
OK， 所以最后这句话很好玩，他就说了 ，If these two lonely souls， 如果这两个寂寞的灵魂 can come together， 能够聚集在一起，好，其实就是走在一起啦。Perhaps they can find new meaning in their lives， 说不定他们就可以在这个他们的生活当中找到新的意义，而且呢，也不会两个人孤独的死去。
Oh man, what a sad kind of topic this is here. So I wrote down this, like the book is fun.But seriously, this is a heavy topic. So, Anthony,
yeah,
who do you want to die first, you or your wife?
Oh, it's a difficult question.
That's a hard question,
yes,
right?
No.
Who do you want to die first? You die first, or your wife or your husband to die first? What a hard question, right?
No way. I don't know how to answer that question.
Like, this is what I think. I want to die first because I hate the idea of my wife getting old and sick, and then she dies. I have to live with that. But if I die first,then I'm letting my wife have that very terrible feeling all by herself.
Oh.
So maybe it's better if she dies first, and that way I can carry that loneliness myself. That's okay. But
yeah,
maybe we both just jump off a building together. 没有好答案, right?
没有错，没有很好的答案。
All right, let's get ready for vocab review.All right, friends, it's time for vocab review. Our first word today is to be responsible for somebody or something.
To be responsible for somebody or something 就是指为什么东西负责，是负责去做什么什么事情。
Number 2, to pass away, which means a polite way to say to die.
Pass away 就是过世，好，或这是一个比较好的一个说法，比就直接讲死要好多了。
Number 3 is to contact, and the adjective form here is contact information.
Contact information 指就是联络方式。Contact 这个字可以当动词，可以当名词来使用哦。
Next we have to bury.
To bury 的意思的话，就是指把它埋葬起来。
Now, Anthony said bury. That's also totally fine. When we go to past tense, my bury, I always say buried. I don't really say buried. But yeah, so this word, the pronunciation will change a little bit. Next, we have to be similar to somebody or something.
Yeah, be similar to somebody or something 就是相似。老师刚才介绍这个字的时候，有 be like somebody or something.
Next, let's continue. To spend time doing something.
花时间去做什么什么事情。
Don't forget your V-I-N-G. Next, to chat with somebody.
To chat with somebody 就是跟他闲聊。
Just like Ivy Chat, our little
Ivy Chat,
right?
That's right.
And number 8, cruel.Cruel
这个字不好念，好 cruel， 它有那个 o 的声音，意思就是指很残酷、很残忍的意思。
那个如果讲不清楚 ，you take your tongue， 你把舌头你就碰到你的门牙，就放那边 cruel。You can't see it, but 你就把舌头放牙齿的门牙的后面。Yeah. All right, that's all the time we have for today. But we'll be back tomorrow with day 2 of Something to Live For, and we get to learn some more of the fun stuff here.In our story. So until then, I am Chris Gorski.
I'm Antony.
We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.